Hello, restless soul seeking solace in the night. Are you one of us whose minds awaken when we lay our heads on the pillow? Before we embark on our journey into the realm of the unexplained, take a moment to breathe, to relax, and let the troubles of the day slip away. Find comfort in the quiet of the night, for it is here that we begin a journey guided by my voice, leading your mind to sleep as we venture deeper into the story, if that is possible with this story. The rain had been pouring relentlessly for hours, turning the forest into a maze of muddy trails and swollen streams. My hiking buddy Jake and I were soaked to the bone, our clothes clinging uncomfortably to our shivering bodies. We had ventured deep into the wilderness, seeking the thrill of adventure amidst the fury of an oncoming storm. Little did we know that our journey would lead to a terrifying encounter with a creature that defied all reason. As we trudged through the muddy underbrush, the ominous rumble of thunder echoed through the forest, shaking the very ground beneath our feet. Dark clouds loomed overhead, blocking out what little remained of the daylight. We knew we needed to find shelter soon, but in our haste to escape the storm, we had lost our way. We should have turned back hours ago, I muttered to Jake, my voice barely audible over the relentless downpour. He nodded, his face pale with concern. I know, but it's too late now. We'll find shelter, don't worry. But worry was exactly what I was doing. The forest seemed to close in around us, its once inviting embrace now suffocating and foreboding. It was as if the very trees were watching us with malevolent intent. As we pressed on, the storm intensified. Lightning forked through the sky, illuminating the forest in eerie, strobe-like flashes. The thunderclaps grew louder, rattling our nerves with each deafening boom. Just when it seemed that we were doomed to be lost in the storm forever, we stumbled upon a small cave nestled into the side of a steep hill. It was a welcome sight, a sanctuary from the relentless rain and thunder. With a sigh of relief, we made our way inside and huddled together for warmth. We waited for what felt like hours, listening to the fury of the storm outside. Rainwater dripped from the cave's ceiling, forming puddles on the uneven floor. We shivered, our wet clothes offering no protection against the cold. And then, just as suddenly as the storm had begun, it ceased. The rain stopped and the thunder faded into the distance. It was as if the forest had exhaled a collective sigh of relief. Jake and I exchanged a hopeful glance. Maybe our luck was finally changing. But as we ventured out of the cave, we were met with a sight that sent shivers down our spines. In the clearing just beyond the cave's entrance, we saw massive paw prints in the mud. Paw prints unlike any we had ever seen before. They were too large to be a bear's and too defined to be from any other native wildlife. "Jake, look at this," I whispered, my voice trembling with fear. He bent down to examine the prints, his face growing pale. "Those aren't from any animal I know of. We should leave now." We wasted no time in following Jake's advice. We hurried away from the cave, following the trail of massive paw prints. It was clear that something huge and unknown had passed through here recently. The storm had concealed the tracks until now. As we continued our trek through the forest, the sense of unease grew. We felt as though we were being watched, and the shadows cast by the towering trees seemed to twist and elongate, taking on eerie, humanoid shapes. Then we heard it, the guttural growl that froze our blood. It was a sound that no animal should be able to produce, a chilling blend of canine ferocity and human malevolence. We turned to face the source of the noise and were met with a sight that defied all reason. Standing before us was a creature that could only be described as a nightmarish fusion of man and beast. It stood on two legs, towering over us with its hulking, fur-covered body. Its head was that of a monstrous wolf, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly, malevolent light. I felt a scream rise in my throat, but fear had paralyzed me. Jake and I stood there, trapped in the creature's predatory gaze, our hearts pounding in our chests. The creature took a step forward, its massive claws sinking into the mud. It emitted another bone-chilling growl, and I finally found my voice. "Run, Jake, run!" We sprinted through the forest, our fear-fueled adrenaline pushing us to our limits. The creature pursued us relentlessly, its thunderous footsteps echoing through the woods. It was faster, more agile than anything of its size had any right to be. Just as the creature closed in, We stumbled upon a small, fast-flowing river. The current was strong, swollen by the recent rain, and it presented our only chance of escape. Without hesitation, we plunged into the icy water, our soaked clothes weighing us down. The creature reached the riverbank just as we were carried away by the current. It let out a deafening, frustrated howl, its glowing eyes locked onto us. But the river was too much for it to cross, and it watched helplessly as we were carried downstream. We clung to each other, gasping for breath as the freezing water threatened to pull us under. The river carried us away from the forest and into a more populated area. Eventually, we managed to scramble onto the muddy riverbank, battered and bruised but alive. We stumbled upon a road where a passing motorist stopped to help us. We recounted our harrowing encounter with the monstrous creature, but the driver looked at us with skepticism. "You boys must have been through quite an ordeal," he said, offering us a ride to the nearest town. As we sat in the warm car, the events of the day began to sink in. We had narrowly escaped a terrifying encounter with a creature that defied all reason. We knew that we would never forget the sight of those glowing, malevolent eyes. Years passed, and we kept our story to ourselves, fearing that no one would believe the truth. But as I continued to research similar encounters, I stumbled upon a tale of a creature known as the Skinwalker. It was said to be a shapeshifter, a being that could assume the form of both man and beast. As I read more about the Skinwalker, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. The creature we had encountered that day seemed to fit the description of the elusive and malevolent being. It was a chilling revelation that left me with more questions than answers. To this day, I wonder about the true nature of the creature we encountered in the storm. Was it a Dogman, a Skinwalker, or something else entirely? The memory of that day still haunts my dreams, a reminder that there are mysteries in the world that may never be fully understood, lurking in the shadows and waiting to be discovered by the unsuspecting. Thank you for joining us on They Always Hide. We hope you found our content both intriguing and spine-tingling. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on our latest eerie explorations, unsolved mysteries, and chilling encounters, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the mysteries that lie just beyond the shadows. Your support means the world to us, and together, we'll continue to uncover the unknown, one enigma at a time. Remember, the world is full of secrets and they always hide. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and stay tuned for more bone-chilling tales.